We're real estate investors and we own 33 Airbnbs. In fact, at one point we had 51 different houses and bookkeeping and banking was absolutely out of control. We were absolutely dreading it and we started getting really frustrated about it. And at that point, sometimes it was about catching up on a year worth of mismatched bookkeeping issues for 51 different houses. It became so frustrating that we just wanted to quit. And I realized I'm not going to quit, so I need to find a better solution. So let me walk you back. Now, with Airbnbs, you don't just have a mortgage payment to make or a water bill to pay. You have literally every utility included. I'm talking lawn, electric, gas, water, sewer, trash, Wi-Fi, cable, pest control, random repairs, massive cleaning bills due pretty much every week. At that scale, that amount of transactions were absolutely exhausting. And stupidly, all of those transactions were coming out of only 3 accounts. If you can only imagine the chaos that me and my wife and our accountant had to go through at that time, it was the worst. We had no tags, no really good structure. It was just kind of chaotic. There was a slight method to the madness when it came to actually tagging things within a bank account that would actually spit it out to our accountant, and downloading the transaction history from those accounts didn't necessarily answer the questions as to what each of those expenses went to in terms of which house. So it left her asking questions to us that we simply just couldn't answer because we couldn't remember anymore, and some of them were mismatched, but overall it was 90% right by the time we were done. But again, for that to take an extra 15 to 30 hours more of energy every time we did these taxes, it would just completely ruin our week in productivity. We did try integrating QuickBooks a few times, but we kind of hated it. It just didn't feel obvious and easy. It felt clunky. You'd download the bank statements, you'd re-upload them to QuickBooks, re-tag them, and I just felt like this is not really helping me. I could easily just download these, put these in Excel, sort them by a certain thing, and just tag them all, kind of just dragging and dropping it. And that's kind of what we did for years. And I would literally think, why isn't this just happening in the system, in the actual banking account system? I think I've been through 6 or 7 at this point. I think only 1 or 2 are actually good. But after doing all that and still correcting their mistakes, I was like, why am I paying you guys $100 to $500 a month for me to correct your mistakes? And I really feel like I'm back to doing the job anyway. And at our top scale of 51 houses, that bill was sometimes $2,500 a month. And that was the best we could negotiate. And frankly, I don't think it was worth it. $2,500 a month to maybe get it right? No way. So there you have it. Tax time felt like punishment. We knew something had to change, so we kept our eyes open for new solutions. So one day I'm at this STR conference and I'm walking by and these people run up to me and go, "Hey, have you heard of Baselane?" I go, "Please don't bore me. I don't even want to talk to you," because that's just how I am. I just don't really like being bothered by vendors. But as we started talking, I actually got pretty intrigued. They started explaining to me that it's a financial platform built for real estate investors, and it's free. And here's one of the features that changed everything for us because I knew it would completely dial in how we are charging and tracking every one of our costs for every one of our properties. They let me know that you can have a separate account, a virtual account for every single one of your properties that also comes with its very own debit card for every property. Instantly. And I was pretty intrigued and I was like, well, hey, I've heard of these things, but usually you have a maximum of 10 or 20 accounts and it's a real pain to set these things up. You got to go into the bank every time and that's just exhausting. They said, no, actually you set up your main account and then after that you add each virtual account. It takes you about a minute. And I was like, a minute? He's like, well, honestly 30 seconds. But I was like, all right, there's no way. So at that point I'm completely intrigued and I have to know if this is possible. So I agreed to set something up. And sure enough, they were right. You click add account, you name it, and then you get to pick something called auto tag, where every item that comes into that specific account gets tagged as that a property for that account. So for instance, let's say I made 123 Main Street as an account, and then ask you one more question. It's a simple little toggle. And that toggle allows you to connect it to any properties you've entered in the system. So if the account name is 123 Main Street and you've created a property that is 123 Main Street, then from now on, you can say toggle to connect this to 123 Main Street. So then whenever you run a P&L on it, it's always being tagged. So from now on, your water bill, your electric bill, your lawn service, whatever it is, no matter what happens in that account is automatically tagged as 123 Main Street from now on autopilot, meaning you don't have to do this like ever again. If anything, you just got to remind it which utility it was, but it's not too hard to figure out what utility it is, right? And at the end of the year, all you got to do is sort by DTE or whatever your electric or gas company it is. And you can say, highlight all these records, tag them all as the electric or gas bill. And then you just did a year's worth of bookkeeping for each utility in seconds. And on top of that, since we did it literally in the system in less than 30 seconds, there's no more appointments with Huntington, Chase, Bank of America, meaning you're not calling in and taking an hour out of your day plus drive time to go sit in a very boring room for them to sign a bunch of documents where you're like, that was a lot of work to just give money to a bank to hold. It took you 30 seconds in the privacy of your own home while you watched Netflix. Easy. That's the kind of Netflix and chill I like these days. And now I just log into one thing, and within there I can see all of my properties and how much money each one has, and which one's going up and which one's going down in value, which balance is growing, what my P&Ls are, and I have an easy way to download all of it to a nice, simple, succinct package to my CPA, who now loves it. Even though we haven't finished a full new tax year yet, and she is already elated because she can see there is so much more organization to this. Now she knows it's going to be a much smoother end of year with us, and it's going to be easier for me and my wife now that we have 2 kids and we don't have the time to put in a week's worth of where was this? Who did this? I can't find the receipt. Which account is this? Who paid for this? Oh, this was paid wrong. All those nightmare questions you can't remember 6 to 12 months later. Plus, you can see the difference in each account. You can go, oh, this one we just did a rehab. Are we positive yet? And you go, oh, no, we're still clawing back to positive. Oh, how about this one? Oh, on this one, there's a $3,600 profit this month, even after paying the mortgage and utilities. That's amazing. It's great to actually see that and not have to ask a CPA or try to surmise where you're at, because it automates it. It gives you the snapshot of that property without you having to figure it out. And it does it across all of your properties. It is a true no-brainer. And here's something I didn't expect. Baselane actually pulls the total funds under your account that you logged in, and the minimum is $50,000. So if you have $50,000 across your portfolio of properties in there, you're earning 3.35%, and now you don't have to go and do all these logins and checks with every single system. It's all in one. There's a clear ease of thought and energy that Baselane is allowing for, and you gotta try it. Another cool feature is for each of the debit cards for each of the accounts, you can assign limits in case you have other people in your team that are getting access to these funds. So you could have a VA, you could have a cleaner, you could have your partner, whoever you want, have access to the physical or the digital card, and it has limits, so you can't get overspent on, which is great because you still need to have some protections built in, especially when you have so many things happening at once. And on top of the protection, no matter who is in your team, they always have one single card that should pay for any single property's expenses, meaning nothing is getting diluted or mixed up or put on this random credit card, and now you have to put that receipt over here and reimburse yourself. There's no more of that back and forth stuff where you're like, crap, did I really account for this? Did I handle this well? And what happens is when you're doing that, you're so busy trying to track everything and you're not tracking it, you're lowering your chance of lowering your taxable income. So you're literally losing money. So this is literally going to help you save money and track it better than you ever have. I am not anti-bookkeeper, but Baselane absolutely makes your bookkeeper's job 10 times harder, which means you probably deserve 10 times the discount, or at least a little bit, right? I think it really does allow you to not have to have a bookkeeper. You can do it with very little to no fuss. And it makes it so easy to the point where it's almost automated. You just got to make sure those one-offs are being tracked. If you give it a once-over almost every quarter, you might spend 15 minutes cleaning it up and you'll be done. Again, it depends on how big your portfolio is, but for most of you out there, a couple minutes. Do it while you're watching TV at night. Do it while the intro's playing, and by the time the show actually starts, you're done. And now, with where we're at, it was a painstaking 3 to 4 week process for us and has now become a few hours a year for us. And we don't have to pay a bookkeeper. My wife, Sam, and I are not waking up in the middle of the night going, crap, we didn't finish this. Hey, did you track this receipt or anything like that? We're finally feeling that smooth sailing with bookkeeping, which I never thought I'd say. Bookkeeping used to be the thing that kept me feeling stuck. Now it's just background noise. I don't even notice it. It's a pleasant little hum. We get to focus on the things that got us here, the deals, the strategy, the hunt for new properties, and the whole portfolio. It's clean, it's simple, it's pretty foolproof. If you've got even one property, just do it now. Take 5 minutes to get used to the system because it's that easy. Click the Baselane link description below in the comments. Set up your first account and try it. What's that cost? Nothing. And it works. And you're going to be happy you tried it. And if you're trying to scale this, turn your long-terms into short-term rentals, find the right markets, or just clean up the chaos, apply to the mastermind using the link below. We'll walk you through the entire setup inside the group, and we'll help you find, negotiate, design, close, and manage that property in the next 90 days with the help of Baselane. This platform gave me back my time, and it gave me a lot more peace around the numbers that my business is bringing in. Try it, click the link below, and spend that saved time where it matters most.